turn it up.
Get ready.
You're tuned in to VO Buzz Weekly.
The show where aspiring voice actors,
Established VO pros,
and curious fans alike get to meet and learn.
from the mega successful talent in voiceover, hear their personal stories, find out how they became so successful.
Learn their secrets and join them at the top.
Come on and get buzzed with us. We know that you have a dream. Go be all you wanna be. So come on and get buzzed with us.
And now, prepare to get seriously buzzed with your hosts, Chuck Duran and Stacey J. Aswad.
And we're back with part 2 with Diane McCalley, and we're going to get some really, we're going to get deep down into the finance world, man.
We are going to save you so much money.
We're going to save you so much cash. You guys are going to probably send us money because you're going to have so much extra.
Great idea, Chuck.
Let's
It's
go.
a deduction.
Let's go talk to Diane.
So basically, because I remember one thing you told me, which was brilliant, was, you have your deductions like marketing, networking. If you go out and have a meal, is it a pre-production meeting? Is it a post-production meeting? Is it networking? Is it marketing? So you can get very creative with, because if you talk about business, you talk about something you did, an audition, a job, that's a legitimate business meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, the IRS's rules on meals are typically they want you to document it.
Yeah, of
and it's
course.
always a good time. The minute you pay that dinner check, you flip it over and write down. I just had a dinner with Stacey and Chuck, and we talked about this upcoming interview, and we went over things like that, and you put it down and you describe the business purpose. It's the best thing to do for yourself. And then what you do is you bring all that information to your tax person and let them
do their thing.
Let them do their thing.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I love doing is I have my folders. Each deduction has its own folder. So I just, as I go through the year, I file it in that folder. So at the end of the year when I come to see you, it's just a matter of I total it up, I write it down, and I'm ready to go versus sitting there trying to sort. And so again, it's like getting prepared. You're going to have to pay taxes. This is not a mystery and an anomaly.
Yeah.
So planning during the year so that it's a much more efficient process.
Absolutely.
I love that. So that goes for same thing, right? The phone, the percentage of the time that you might use your home phone, right?
Right.
Or maybe you just have a specific phone for that office, or your cell phone if you use it mostly for business, or right?
Yeah.
What about cable, internet? Same thing.
Absolutely.
Everything.
So particularly in the entertainment business, there's things that get spent that other types of businesses don't spend.
Right.
Because you've got you've got your utilities, for instance, and I look at all the cabling you have in this studio, and those are things that you wouldn't have spent except you're in this business, right? So these are some of the things I try to teach people. What does it cost you to run that kind of business? If you're a doctor, you're going to be able to deduct the tools that you buy.
Sure.
If you're a carpenter, you get to deduct your tools of the trade there. So you have to look at, like in the entertainment business, what things are important and valuable, which would include costuming, hair, makeup. Now for voiceover, that might not be so much possible, but you guys are doing a show.
It's a visual business.
Well,
It's a visual
exactly.
business.
No, but this is really cool because she's talking
But the
about
maintenance
really
the maintenance of your physical body, massages, all of that speaks to how well you're going to be able to do your voice work. So that's all maintenance of the instrument.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody massages your throat, it's tax deductible. I'm sorry, but it is.
Well, let's talk to Barbara about it.
Yes. How can somebody be best prepared? What sort of things should they have prepared before they go see an accountant at the end of the year?
Well, I think like you said, Stacey, to have all your expenses organized and categorized. What you do with a folder system is great.
Yeah.
I tell people envelopes, especially somebody who's majorly unorganized. Hello, you creative people.
Yeah. Everybody out
My son's creative, I can say that.
there. Very creative.
Very creative.
But you want to be organized, because if you just bring me a shoebox full of receipts, you're going to pay me to add them up and to categorize them, and that's going to cost you money. And I don't want to do that.
Right.
Because I really would rather you do that, because it puts some onus on you for your own tax situation, so you have a clear idea.
Yeah.
So the simplest thing is a folder system, an envelope system, or whatever, and maintain it as you go, so it's not such a complete nightmare.
Right.
What some of my clients do is they will use certain softwares, and I'm not actually trying to promote anybody, but there is Quicken and QuickBooks in there.
Of course.
They're a good way, and you can get your bank statements downloaded into those, and all you do is go through and recategorize things. Those are great. Now, when it comes to being incorporated, the IRS prefers you have some kind of bookkeeping system.
Yeah.
So if you are using one of those tools, that makes it easier to be in compliance with them. But again, having a folder system and your expenses doesn't mean you don't have a bookkeeping system.
Right,
It just
right.
means those tools look more like what they're looking
Right.
for.
Exactly.
So now a lot of people are scanning. They want to get rid of the paper. Gosh forbid the A word, you get audited. And if you do you need to still have those paper receipts, or if you scan a lot? Because I know a lot of people that scan and shred. Is it still okay to have digital records of your receipts?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. But one thing I have heard people do is they go, oh, well, it's on my credit card statement. That's not going to fly, because what if you're at Costco? You can buy anything there. They're going to want to see that scanned receipt that says that you bought DVDs or you bought whatever.
Yeah.
They want to see
Cassette tapes.
Yes, cassette
You bought
tapes.
cassette tapes.
Right.
They want to see that
so
you
the
bought
itemized.
things. Yeah.
Okay.
And when it comes to your regular credit cards, your Visa, MasterCards, they're also going to want to see that. They'll want to see those meal receipts, that you wrote on the back that said who you had dinner with or who you had a meeting with,
Yeah.
or that you bought pastries because you were having a studio session.
Yeah.
Those kind of
You
things.
didn't get pastries either. I know that's what you're going to say. No one brings me pastries. So this is slightly off, but there's discrepancies. How long should you keep your tax returns? Is it 7 years? Is it 10 years? And is a corporation different from an individual?
No, it's not. The IRS can audit you for 3 years, right? But I always add a year onto that, because you're always filing a year later, right? And then for me, I add an extra year just for good measure. So if you look at when you filed your tax return, so in April of 16, we were just doing 2015. So you would take 2015 and add 5 years.
Okay.
I think that's a reasonable number.
So
from 15,
2000.
so 6 years total.
2010.
No, I could start getting rid of 2010 by 2015, because they're really only going to go back 3 years, but I'm given a little extra cushion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cushion.
And
I
now,
didn't know that. I thought it was like 8 years.
No.
I have
So-
all these taxes in my
No,
frickin'
remember
room
Chuck and I
taking up
shredded.
space.
Chuck and I, it looked like we had done something so wrong. We're in our garage with the door open, and we're shredding, and people are walking by, and there's like dust, and we're like,
shredding for 8 hours straight.
we packed up like 50 bags of shredded. We gave to people who were moving. Here's your padding stuff. It looked like we were like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was bad, but it was good to get rid of all that, and then
It
you
is.
shred it. Obviously, you don't
Yeah.
want to just throw it
Yeah.
in the garbage.
yeah, and there are services that will come.
Yes.
And they're very.
We'll do it for you.
They're very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll come up to your place with a wood chipper.
Yes.
And
I didn't know
What's
that.
the
That
fun in
just
that,
saved us a
Diane?
I know. Well,
True, we did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Okay,
Next
so let
time.
me ask you this. Just to have a little fun here, but would there be like some questions, like even just 5 questions that you feel what might be the most important questions that somebody might want to ask an accountant before hiring them?
Yes. One might be, how long have you been doing this? You know, I think that's a good question to ask. Oh, I just got my tax preparer's license last year. Well, yeah, really.
Right.
You know, the other thing is, are they licensed at all? You know,
Okay.
Do they have a tax preparer's license? Are they a CPA? Are they an enrolled agent? You
Are
know.
those different things?
Yes.
They
yes,
are.
They are. They are different.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. And so is obviously CPA the best, the most credentialed, or?
Not necessarily. An enrolled agent is someone who is licensed to practice in front of the U.S. taxes.
I see.
Right. They're not necessarily a CPA, but they've gone through a lot of the same training.
Yeah.
There are some people who are enrolled agents who actually can go to tax court like an attorney would.
Yeah.
You know. Then there's CPAs, and then there's licensed tax preparers, which is what I am. You know, I've been doing it for a long time, but so you just want to be sure somebody knows their business, right?
Right.
One of the other questions you might ask is, how many of your clients get audited? You know?
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
We didn't
I
ask you
that.
Do you want to answer now?
My goodness gracious.
Yeah. So
I have a feeling it's
We're
low.
gonna.
another question I might ask is, or some people have asked me this, well, why would I hire you? Why wouldn't I just use TurboTax? You know? And it's like, well, hey, if you want to use TurboTax, go ahead.
Right.
But the difference between me and somebody doing TurboTax on their own is, I know stuff.
That TurboTax doesn't.
Yeah. And TurboTax will interview you. They will ask you questions, but they're not going to ask you the kind of questions I'm going to ask you. You know, I'm going to pick your brain for where do you spend your money that really relates to your business that you don't think about. So when I talk to my clients, some tax people expect you to know. They expect you to know what's deductible and just show up with the numbers and they just put it on the forms. I go, okay, these guys aren't in the tax business, so let me help them through this. And I'll sit there and make sure we've considered everything possible, and I know you've noticed that with me.
Yes.
time.
We've picked up things
Yes.
that you never even thought about.
Yep.
You know, and now I know apples.
Yeah. And I stopped using TurboTax.
Produce. The produce.
Yeah. So that's another question. And then let's see what else I did write this down. What can I do to keep costs down? You know, so you might ask your person you're interviewing for taxes is what kind of advice they have to keep the cost of tax preparation down. You know, and so they should be able to give you some clues.
And
you know?
most of that starts with you being prepared.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and so what is the difference? I mean, do most people need a bookkeeper? When does someone need a bookkeeper?
Wow. You know,
If they don't want to really be organized, if they don't want to keep a monthly balance and all of that, is that someone who needs a bookkeeper? And obviously that's another expense, but
Yeah. You know, I think it's going to be for those people who never, ever, ever get around to doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're calling me up and they got 8 years worth of back taxes to
Yeah.
do. And oh, by the way, here's my
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Right.
So they might hire me to get that caught up. Other people, because of the volume of their business,
Yeah.
they're concentrating on their business. And that's what they should do. And that's when it's important to hire professionals around you that are good at what they do so you can be good at what you do.
Exactly.
Right.
So, you know, I think it's a really individual choice, but, you know, if you're going to be one of those people that can't pull it together,
Yeah.
and that's not a slam on anybody, but because you're so busy doing what you're doing, then think about it.
Yeah.
But again, it's an expense, so
Right.
you have
Right.
to.
It is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'll use myself as an example here because I remember not having a bookkeeper and then now having a bookkeeper, and so
well, you're very organized, but you just
I'm very organized, but like you just
volume
said, man,
and busy.
I am doing so much stuff that I don't have time to keep track of every penny that I spend and where I spent it and for what.
Right.
So my bookkeeper, whenever I use my card, whenever I buy something, whenever I pay something for something, they're tracking my move, every little thing that I do, and categorizing everything. So at the end of the year, you get everything all nice and neat. You know exactly what went where, which lowers my
Tax bill.
a
Yeah.
little bit. So
Which is
and
very
the whole thing's
reasonable.
tax deductible
Yes.
anyways.
Right.
So if you're super busy,
I'm tax deductible.
You should do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
You should do it anyhow
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're just lazy, then you could do it too.
Try
you
harder.
can- I mean, if you are, if you're lazy, that's okay, but you're going to pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I would recommend when it comes to bookkeeping is try to get it done fairly soon after the month or the period.
Yeah.
Because a good bookkeeper will see stuff on your bank statements, your credit card statements that could be fraudulent activity. And if you don't look at it until you send it to me and it's 18 months later,
Too late. Yeah.
you can't do anything about it. You know,
Yeah.
somebody hacked your card in some way or another, you know. So it's just good business practice to keep up with that.
That's cool.
It's also from an IRS perspective, if you're running a corporation, they kind of want you to run it like a business.
A business.
Because you've told them you're a business.
Right.
That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question, a personal question for
Okay.
you.
Is it about her
Because-
incredible, fabulous hair?
Well, we're going to talk about the hair in 2 seconds, but no, it's about because what I've come to learn about you is that you really love doing what you do. So, how did you get started in
Wow, you know, I was in high school and I'm going, I want to take the classes where I can learn how to do bookkeeping.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else is doing something else.
Yeah.
You know, and I took shorthand. I took classes to learn how to run office machines. I don't know, it was just something that,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of always had a sense for, you know, and
That's
Well, and you can
fantastic.
tell because you are literally, you know, I've had different accountants throughout my life, and I mean, you are so calm. I mean, you sit with Diane, and she's just like, "Hi," and we're eating little snacks, and she is so calm, and you can just—it's like you're in your zone.
She like
you
loves
clearly,
it. She's like
you're
in
not
La La
stressed.
Land,
You're
just
not.
having a
It's like
good
the
time
height
with
of the
numbers.
season,
Yeah.
and you're just like, "Great, okay, yeah, I've done 7,300 tax returns this week." I mean, and you're just like, "That's great," and you go walk your beautiful dogs, and there you go. So clearly, you're, you know, how do you keep up with the changes?
oh, you have to, you know, to maintain your license, you have to you have to
The
update
continuing
every year.
education and all of that,
Continuing
yeah.
education every year, yeah. But you know a lot of why I like it is because I have wonderful clients like you all that are so fun to be with, and I manage to be a little bit sneaky because we're chatting, but I'm really collecting data from you while we chat.
Yes, you're very good at that.
It's a great
Like a
way to
spy.
update. Yes, I am. But I do manage to make it kind of seamless for people.
Are there ever people that you maybe turn down and say, you know what, I don't think we're a good fit for each other? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm at a stage in my life because I'm not in those beginning years of building a business. I'm in a place where if somebody is going to be too high maintenance, I might suggest they find somebody that might suit them better. You know, and not every personality mixes either.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So I really like to work with fun individuals and people that aren't, you know, highly stressed about
Yeah.
everything. You know, I do my best to de-stress them.
Yeah.
And I would have to say that probably 99% of the people that leave my office go, "Oh my God, I feel so much better."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
'Cause-
Exactly.
If you could just button, like, what are the kind of the most common mistakes people make?
Oh my God, I was just thinking that. I'm psychotic. I mean, psychic. Okay.
You have
go
what
ahead.
is ESPN? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of like the most common? Obviously, not paying your taxes.
Oh yeah,
Duh,
absolutely.
But
And really not paying attention to whether you're getting taxes paid in or planning to pay taxes in. You know, it's I've ended up having clients who actually have payroll and they don't pay their payroll taxes. This is terrible, you know. Because the IRS is uglier about not paying payroll taxes than they are about not paying your own taxes. And they will live with you until you die.
So it's huge.
Or pay them
red
off.
flag,
Right, right.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people are independent contractors and say they get a job that pays them $2,000. Nothing's taken out of it. And they go, great, I have $2,000. But they're going to end up paying the piper at some point. So how much, is there kind of a percentage that people should put away in their savings or somewhere where they can get without being taxed or penalized, so that if they do owe money, they have it and they don't have to come up with it?
Right, yes.
Smart.
Yeah, it's really good, and this goes back to prior planning. Depending on the level of someone's business, if they're a fairly small business, I might suggest that they put away 20%. And if they're a little bit larger, I might suggest 25%. Because you have to look at, you're going to pay the state of California in your corporation some money. It's pretty nominal. But then you've got your federal and state income taxes, you know.
Yeah.
So state income taxes, you know, usually run 8%, and federal could be 15. 15 and 8, you got 23 right there. But there's deductions, you know, that we can take. So if somebody's setting aside 20% and they're really being good about not spending it, a lot of times when it comes tax time, they'll have money left over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good to just be diligent and not go, oh wow, I got money.
Right.
You
So
know.
take some of that 20,
Yeah.
25% and put it away now,
Right.
and then you have it. Great.
Yeah, and then at the end of the year when you paid your taxes and you got money left, you can have a vacation.
Exactly.
You know.
I know, I love that you
Built-in
always take me-
vacation.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wooey.
I love it.
Yeah.
So cool. So if somebody travels
Yeah.
to Hawaii,
No, or say someone goes to a voiceover convention, some sort of event where they fly there, they have a hotel, all of their expenses while they're there. What if that is deductible?
All of it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all deductible. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're a presenter at a convention, everything you spend to set up your booth, set up your displays, promote that you're going to be there, all those costs are deductible. I think the simplest thing to do is go, what does it cost me to operate my business? What does it cost me to promote, to stay in business? Those are the things that you can deduct.
so promotion is even a big factor here because we all do things to
Right.
promote ourselves as so
Promotion,
a voiceover
networking,
demo,
marketing,
tax
all of that.
deductible, business emails, cards, postcards that you're sending out, the postage of the postcards
Absolutely,
that you're
absolutely.
sending out, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
And I will have a lot of clients come and go, oh, I didn't know I could deduct that. Yeah. If you're spending it chasing a dollar, you can deduct it.
that's good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get
That's
a
so
t-shirt.
cool. Okay, now let's talk about your hair.
Okay.
What is up with that awesome hair?
It was a different color last I saw you. I like this.
Yeah.
You did more blondes and more
Yeah.
more pinks or
Yeah, more color here. Yeah.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
looks so cool.
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
You are like a rock star.
Thank
over
you
there.
so much, Diane.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in touch with Diane, do you still do free consultations? Okay. So you can get her email, dc@dianemccauley.com. It's there on the screen. Contact her, set up a consultation. You will not be sorry. And
And if you're out of state, call me anyway or
Okay.
email me anyway because I do other states' taxes. And we do so much electronically, you know, these
Absolutely.
days.
Right.
Why not?
That's
Right.
cool. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you,
thank you. This
Diane.
has been so much fun.
Oh, God, this
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yes,
Put it
so
there,
great.
buddy.
Thank you so
Woohoo.
much. We love you, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get down. And we're going to see you guys next time.
This is Diane McCalley, and I just got buzzed with Chuck and Stacey. I had a great time. I hope you did. Give me a call if you've got questions.
Well, that's all we have with Diane McCalley. We hope that you guys have enjoyed all the wonderful information she's
Yes, she's really
put some-
incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So cool. And I got to tell you, man, if you put all the stuff that we talk about to use, your finances are definitely going to change. There are some nuggets and some secrets here that might not seem like a big deal, but in the
Right,
long run,
right.
huge.
Yeah, and of course, check with your own state, your own country. Make sure you're following those parameters. But I'm really excited
Me too.
for you to save money. Keep your money. You work hard for it, right?
Yes.
Don't forget to keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check us out on iTunes, and we can go with you everywhere. It's like a dream come true. Yes. All right, you guys, we love you. Thanks for watching, and just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.
Come on, come on, come on and get buzzed.
VO Buzz Weekly is sponsored by Chuck Duran's Demos That Rock. The voiceover demo producer to the stars is now available to you. Visit demosthatrock.com and take your voiceover career to the next level.
See you next time, and remember, you always have time for a little buzz.